Okay, here we can see we just got a short victory. This one is playing as Malachi as Karak Kadrin. We do have all of the lords. If we check in here, all of the lords have been confederated. Thorgrim went through the traditional confederation. We didn't use the Book of Grudges to get him. You can see here we own all of this territory in here. The victory conditions for Karak Kadrin are a little different from the traditional ones. You have to build the Great Slayer Shrine at Karak Kadrin. Ungrim has to be level 25, which is going to be relatively simple. And then 32, I have 32. You need 30 territories. This is a turn 77 win. The reality is that the last 20 turns have been me clicking through, trying to get that Slayer Shrine built. Karak Kadrin, you can see here, is just a two-space, a two-region province. I have maximum growth from this. I have maximum growth from this. I have some pretty decent growth coming in from here. And I have the growth here. And it still took a ridiculous amount of time to build this up. This just clocked over. It took me 7 turns to go from level 4 to level 5. Then 4 or 5 turns, 4 turns to upgrade the building, then 4 turns to upgrade the Slayer building. So that did take quite a substantial amount of time. But there's no requirement to do any grudges. If you want to go on to complete the second layer, you need 4 legendary grudges. I got one of them. There it is. By accident, somebody has wiped out the entirety of the Dark Elves. So how did this one go? You start in Karak Kadrin, and I'm always very unsure what the best strategy is to play Karak Kadrin. This is Ungrim. Is it Ungrim? Ungrim Ironfist? Is that his name? I can never remember the guy's name. Yeah, Ungrim Ironfist. I'm confused because you start off at war with a minor faction here, and taking them out requires coming all the way down to Grom Peak. So you fight here, you take this, you go here on turn 3, then it's turn 4, turn 5, maybe turn 6 to take them out. And if you're not really careful and do a good job of fighting your battles, then you've got Azag coming down on you. I got a little bit lucky here because Azag actually went after the Empire out here, and he was out here. So I declared war on him, traded Karak Raziak to Dryka to go to war with him, and so again, the settlement cheese. I think the settlement cheese really needs to be weakened. If you put a military building in a tier 1 settlement, most factions will do pretty much anything for you early on in the game. I had some real problems. I never did get a Nolengrom because early on I made the mistake after the orcs out here declared war on me. I made peace with them, but I still boarded them, and they had all of this and hundreds and hundreds of grudges on them. So the best I think this is the best I ever did, was that was like an 82%. You're encouraged to go Slayers. See here, construction for Slayer buildings, 75%. That's ridiculously cheap. I mean, if there's anybody we can see that we could build one. Here we go. So a Slayer building here, it's free. Actually free in this one, probably because I have building benefits going on there. So the Slayer buildings are free, recruitment for Slayers is cheap, and infantry move faster, which is actually pretty good for for dwarves, right? So where is Ungrim? So you can see here these slayers have a speed of 60, which is pretty ridiculous. Then if you go and take a look at Ungrim himself, upkeep for slayers units, melee attack for slayer units, and then Journey's End. So Journey's End allows your units to models. No models are lost as long as the entire unit has 75% or more hit points. But you really, if you lean into the slayers, you're going to be doing a lot of melee. It's not particularly my, I prefer ranged, I prefer magic. If we look at my statistics here, I wouldn't bet I fought too many fights here. 5 out of 82 fights. That's really not a lot, right? So, yeah, so maybe, less than 10% of the fights. But again, dwarfs auto-resolve very, very powerfully. Okay, so I should have left it on him. There he is. So let's take a look at him as a legendary lord. There's lots and lots and lots of Slayer stuff in here. So melee attack and weapon strength for him, if you take a look at him right here, look at his melee attack and melee defense, he's really outrageous. Worthy foe, this is really only great against large units. Oh, that's not bad at all. Oh, enabled if a terror-causing unit shows up. Okay, so if he's got causes terror and causes fear, that makes him immune to terror and fear, and then increases his weapon damage and armor-piercing damage and melee attack if there's an enemy like that nearby. Here we go. Bonus versus large for slayers and for himself. Okay, and then here, ward safe. Now this is interesting because this is Warriors of Chaos, Norska, and Demons. But the vast majority of the enemies you fight are Chaos Dwarfs, Greenskins, and Skavens. So that's actually not very useful. Doomseeker's here, hit points for him, casualty replenishment rate. This is really good because it allows you to go in and take those nasty fights and replenish your army. Finally, Slayer King, ward save for him. And then the Journey's End upgraded. You go from a 75%. So what are they? What does the Journey's End on these guys say now? Does it have Journey's End upgraded? Here it is, 50%. So now nobody can die while they have 50% of units. What do we got here? So 17% casualty rate. That does not take into effect the Slayer bonuses. So if you take a look, he's got 17. Then he's got... Where else are we in here? It's got to be in here. There we go. Casualty replenishment area 17, so 47 for him. Then 10% there, so 27%, 37% replenishment rate for, and then another 6%. So he's got, yeah. So at least 37, 40% replenishment rate after a fight. 4 Slayers in his army. He's basically just running around with this stack because I had a lot of fights in here that I had to clear up. We've been fighting Moors, and we've been fighting the Ironclaw Orcs. So yeah, we're pretty strong now. We have all 5 legendary lords. We have a really good economy going. I got a lot of my early economy from the deeps. I put a deeps in Karak Kadrin. You can see here I'm getting 1,300 just from the deeps. So this I noticed, I don't know if this was up before, this is 125% income from all buildings. Now it was as high as 225, and that's because if you look in the deeps mechanic, this building here, right, settlement income plus 5% per turn count. Now I don't know if that's turn count since you build it or turn count overall, but then minus 5% per settlement owned in the local region. And it's not just the local region, because the local region is just where this building is. And then local province would be the province. So I believe that's every region you own. So as you expand, as you go wide, your income is reduced. So this allows, that's a building to go tall. If you're just going to go wide, so I should dismantle this now, and I could put this in, and this would be upkeep, recruitment cost, research rate. But you know, we're getting 1,300 here. I also have the building up here, getting 1,200 in there. I've got a deeps down in this one, getting 1,300 there. It would be nice. There you go. There's your deeps income, 5834. So remember, the deeps themselves have income buildings. This one here, right, this is making 500 for every 100 oath gold. So once you're making a lot of oath gold, you can see here, I'm making 1,450 oath gold a turn. Every deeps should have one of these so that you can turn 100 oath gold into 500 regular gold. Now you lose control here, but control is not going to be an issue by now anyway. So then this one here, income gain from the services income, so that's an income increaser right there. Or you can just go here and get growth and faction-wide income. So when you go broad, you want this one. So these are the tall ones, these are the broad ones. How do I like playing as this faction? I love this as it's a challenge. I think that most of the others are relatively easy. I still haven't won as Malachi because I'm really not sure what the heck is going on there. That's what I really, really do need to do. I'm not going to continue this one. I really don't enjoy chasing down all of these grudges. I'd have to do 3 more. This one I could probably do because this is all the realms in the Dwarven territories. I could probably take out these, but it's a lot of work. I'm now allied with Libara, so that's not going to happen. Grimgore, I could probably take out. This stuff got all taken out without me having to do anything with it. So let's take a look at his items. You get 3 items. So this, I think it's level 7, level 12, and level 17. Yeah, you can. Okay, it's written right there, you idiot. So control in the local province, not a big deal. Ward save is very, very good. If you look at him right now, he's got 50% ward save, 108 melee defense. He's carrying a rune of spite, and he has the Iron Warden tankard. Recruit rank for Slayers in his army. Intercepting Skaven, very good. Melee attack and melee defense, as you can see. Again, another 20% ward save here. Melee defense and fire resistance. Melee attack, Axe of Dargo here. Armor piercing weapon damage bonus versus large. These are all really good to make him and his army very, very strong. They're a good set. And then if you look in here, another point for recruit rank, and another 25 off recruiting Slayers, Doom Slayers. I didn't get any Doom Seekers. I should. I think that would be really something I'd like to try. But the only time I ever use Doom Seekers, I think you start with a Doom Seeker when you play as Malachi. Malachi, I have Malachi, Belagar, and Thorek heading up north because there's a tussle going up. I mean, look at the Empire. The Empire is all the way out here. They eliminated Arbol up here. Kadrin got absolutely annihilated by Throt, less than 10-15 turns in. I enjoyed this one. I would have liked to have fought more battles, but the vast majority of my battles were me taking out minor settlements. Like running around out here, taking out these greenskins, the only issue is the distances involved. So, an enjoyable campaign. I very much enjoy playing the dwarfs. I like the deeps. Oh, I couldn't figure it out last time. I did find the building that allows you to turn off the Age of Reckoning. It's in 8 Peaks. If you go into the deeps at 8 Peaks, one of the buildings, I'm building it. It might be this one. No, which one is it? That's not it. I was sure that I was building it. Do I have to delete one of these to get there? Here we go. The Hall of Rememory. So this is a unique building. There are 3 places where there's a unique Deeps building. There's Skavenblight, 8 Peaks, and Zarnagrand. So the building I have currently increases the number of settled grudges required by 3%, reduces recruitment cost, upkeep, and increases grudge settled unit capacity. That's very nice. And you can see here, this also increases the number of grudges, but increases the number of grudge settler unit capacities per army. So that's nice to fill your armies with grudge settlers. If you don't like the Age of Reckoning, and I'm not a fan because the transparency on where these are coming from is very, very poor, then you can just do this. The Age of Reckoning will be permanently paused while this building is present, and then us grudge settlers and maintenance costs 2,000. So that does allow you to turn off the Age of Reckoning, but it costs 5 Hurricane Degrees, and you've got to have 8 peaks. I got it because I wanted to get that one. If I can, in the next 14 turns, get that, I don't know if I get to keep this current setting, but I would not be able to get any more grudge settler units beyond the ones that are currently available to me now, I'm assuming. But I'd like a toggle to turn that off anyway, or maybe I need to go look and see if there's something that shows me where all these points are. You can see it's currently only 14,000. Now, it was as high as 55,000 grudges previously, but that was when I bordered Moors. And this guy killed this guy off. This Tretch Craventail was the most aggravating part of this, hunting him down. This was basically all Tretch. This stuff down here is probably Moors. But since these guys are at war with Moors, you can rely on them to take him out. Again, a good enjoyable campaign. Did I get any cool items? Where's my fella? I just need to go into somebody, don't I? Iron will. So, Cladbrook Rag, he got both of his. He already had all this stuff, and I confederated him. Confederated everybody with the grudge system except Thorgrim. I got through a traditional because he was getting his butt handed to him. So if we go into details here, this is all proprietary stuff. I've got a lot of pretty much nothing. Just these are all faction items. The Hammer of Anger, yeah, okay. So lots and lots. I could trade a lot of this stuff in. The Crimson Gemstone, I'm assuming I don't know where that comes from. But that's interesting. What's this? Melee defense and damage resistance. The Hunger. That's not a Malachi thing, is it? Or is that a Malachi thing? See, I don't play him enough to know. What? No, it's not. So he got that from somewhere. He's got his items. Yeah, my research rate is pretty tremendous. It says 365 because I have all the lords can get in their skill tree. If you go down their skill tree, most of the lords will have some kind of, there's a 10% there. I've got a bunch of ancillaries that give me its students and archivists. So yeah, that's actually a pretty interesting item. I've never seen that one before. Lots of runes. So yeah, oh, what's this one? The Heart of Malevolence. So that's interesting. Oh, that basically gives you Wood Elf skills. Interesting. That's really, really pretty cool. And then ancillaries, Dragonhide Cloaks, Arachnrock Trophy. There are some new ones in here I haven't seen before. Most of these I got when I confederated the other guys. Candlemaker, Line of, so yeah. The problem is that you get fatigue with the dwarfs because everybody keeps getting these jewelsmiths and guildmasters constantly that increase your income, and they're all just while you're in the region where the actual item is. But this was terribly fun. I have to give Malachi a try. I have to go in and try that one. I know that it's supposed to be relatively easy because it gets a lot of powerful equipment, gyrocopters, gyro bombers, and that kind of thing. So maybe that'll be my next one.